to AWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Bockwinkel, and he's going against a man who not much is known about at this point in time, but he would go on to become one of the biggest stars of the 1980s, Terry Allen.
Terry Allen, of course, later known to millions of wrestling fans around the country as Magnum TA. His career was cut short in October 1986 in a tragic car accident near Charlotte, North Carolina. But at this time, he was an up-and-coming superstar who people were predicting would be a future NWA World Champion. Let's take a look at this very early match of Terry Allen.
In the ring, Terry Allen. Terry, one of the finest young athletes that you're going to see anywhere at any time. In keeping with the quality athletes you see on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Terry's out of Chesapeake, Virginia, weighs in at 235 tonight. His opponent, I'm talking serious business. He is the AWA World Champion, Nick Bockwinkel. Nick is from Beverly Hills, California. He weighs 241 pounds. And the man has a habit of winning, as you would guess, from the belt he wears. Yeah, it's bigger than bread basket and heavier chances are. Rather bread box. He's one of the good ones. Bockwinkel, a little pompous as an approach, I suppose, would be a mild thing to say. I think perhaps it is possible, knowing Terry Allen, that Bockwinkel could underestimate this young man. He's full of fire. He is a tremendously strong athlete. There's a college wrestling hold if you ever saw one. Terry Allen and Bockwinkel. I'm sure Bockwinkel, confident of victory. You've seen him. And believe me, he feels that way. This is not something he just saying. Bockwinkel feels like he's the best there is in the entire planet. Big head scissor. Allen on the world champion. Incidentally, speaking of big and strong, guess who is returning to Southwest Championship Wrestling, and we welcome him. Big Bruiser Brody. There are those that will not welcome him, because I guarantee you this man is standing beside a building. He ripples when he walks. And tough is not descriptive enough to talk about Bruiser Brody. Big full forearm slam. Bockwinkel and Allen all the way across into the turnbuckle. Bockwinkel with that grin on his face, looked like a possum eating peach seeds. What do you think of them apples? Oh, Terry Allen, the victim of inexperience. Hip toss. Figure four. He got a figure four with his leg on his arm. Nick Bockwinkel. Yep, if he don't know a hole, he'll invent it, and probably has several. The man is something to be concerned about when you're in the ring with him, and that's got to be an understatement. All kinds of pain. Young Terry Allen going through. Could very well have the strength of Bockwinkel. I suspect he does, and he's still developing. Still maturing. Still maturing as a wrestler, but he's got to mature some mentally. That mistake he made a moment ago was a rookie's mistake, and something you can't do against the world champion. And he's paying the price right now. He's buying the tickets right at this very moment. As Bockwinkel works on Terry Allen. Colonel Buck coming back. That may not make you happy. I'm not particularly thrilled about it, but nonetheless, he is one of the top wrestlers in the world, and he is coming back. Buck Robley. As is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the Funk Brothers. And I can't emphasize to you, Biggie full of forearm. Bockwinkel across. Oh! And another full body slam out of Terry Allen. Don't sell this young man short. You'll hear from him, and you'll hear from him a lot in days to come. Goes for the pin with a side head. Bockwinkel picks up the right shoulder. Almost impossible to pin a man like Bockwinkel with a sitting side head on him. Terry Allen, though, is draining a lot of strength right now. You can bet on that. Draining a lot of strength out of Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel smooth. He thinks he's classy, and he is the world's champion. You got to give him that. Being worked on, head bone being worked on by Terry Allen. Looked like he might about have 22, 23-inch arms on him. Got to feel like a 4-inch Sears and Roebuck vise to the head bone of Bockwinkel at this point. Slams him, and again, working on the backside. Bockwinkel and Allen comes out, gets the arm bar. Bockwinkel on Terry Allen, obviously in pain. Across. Bockwinkel in. Hip Dustin. Misses this time with a kick. 1, 2. Ooh, Bockwinkel kicks out. He did not hurt bad enough to go down for that. Again, the sitting side headlock. Terry Allen on Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel knows he's got him an opponent. At this point, he might begin to realize what I knew when this match started. Terry Allen, nobody's pushover. Don't you ever consider this young man to be down and out until you hear the 3 count. See, he and young Tom Pritchard's two of the younger wrestlers on Southwest Championship Wrestling, and I can see now why they're on the wrestling circuit. They're world-class athletes. But then that's how Southwest Championship Wrestling is. Wherever you are in this country, thanks for joining us. I hope you'll make it a weekly habit, wherever you see us. Looking forward to talking to Scott Casey tonight. Scotty is he's one of my favorite people, as well as my favorite athlete, one of my favorite athletes. And he's been injured, and he's been injured more than anybody deserves in the past couple of weeks. Bockwinkel. It's legal, except for the fact that Allen is on the turnbuckle, which doesn't seem to concern Brother Bockwinkel at this point, as he slams him. And again, third man of the ring, Eric Mannheimer, giving Bockwinkel the warning. Allen fights back, and again he says, "How's that feel? You like them apples? We'll have one." And again, with the knee. All the way across, flying drop kicks him all the way to the other turnbuckle, going after him with the elbow. And again, Mannheimer counting. He might as well be spelling for all it's good going to do him in this match. Allen misses, Bockwinkel moves. Here comes the big full body slam. Terry Allen in trouble at this point. Clotheslines him on the bottom rope. Knee drops him. Mannheimer's counting. I'm sure Terry Allen, the fact that Mannheimer's counting, big, full, pile driver. 2, 3, had to be. Bockwinkel stuck his head halfway into the basement. The world's champion, Nick Bockwinkel, over game, young, talented Terry Allen.
One of the most unique gimmick wrestlers of the 1970s was Polish power Ivan Putski, and here we go to San Antonio, Texas to see Ivan Putski do battle with the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield.
Eddie Mansfield, known more in professional wrestling circles for his lack of ability to get a job, lack of ability to keep a job, or his tremendous amount of complaining when he got fired from a job. But in this case, Ivan Putski makes short work of the Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield.
Into the ring now with Ivan Putski. The Continental Lover, Eddie Mansfield. Ooh, looks like this one's underway. Yeah. Shot to the Adam's apple. Mansfield right away, working on Putski's Adam's apple with a thumb. Now working on it with the sleeve off that wrestling uniform. Eric Mannheimer, the third man in the ring, counting. Mansfield using the thumb on Putski and the Adam's apple off the second rope, crashing down on Putski's back. Working him over, using the thumb on the Adam's apple one more time. Eddie Mansfield on Ivan Putski. Mansfield from Tampa, Florida. Hair of the head. Well, had a notion about the turnbuckle. Putski has got a bull neck on him, but he just bowed that neck and just slapped 5 from Mansfield. There's 5 to the chops for the Continental Lover. Crowd reacts. They always react. I'm telling you, this program of Southwest Championship Wrestling is the finest you'll see anywhere in the country. The top 20, 25 wrestlers in the world performer at Southwest Championship Wrestling. Mannheimer with the count on Eddie Mansfield. The crowd starting to chant. Ivan, Ivan, Ivan. Mannheimer continues to count. Putski more than some upset. Mansfield slips through the ropes. And Putski wants a little brother Mansfield at this point. Eddie Mansfield weighing in at 229 tonight. Has a shot at Putski's Adam's apple. He continues to work on the throat with that thumb. He's taking the point of his thumb, working directly on the Adam's apple, into the back, off the ropes. Working on Putski's Adam's apple. Obviously not legal. Manheimer counts him off. Another jab to the Adam's apple. Taking its toll on Ivan Putski. There's the thumb in the throat again. Putski, Mansfield against the turnbuckle. And he does slap him. Big old red marks all over Mansfield. As you can imagine, the man with that strength slaps you. Mansfield circling the ring. Putski talking to Manheimer. Grabs him, Putski with his hand on Eddie Mansfield's head. Tries to pull him in. Mansfield continues to work on the Adam's apple. Eddie Mansfield, outweighed by Putski. A right to the jaw from Ivan Putski, Polish power. A man to be respected in the ring. He get his dander up, and they've got it up. Eddie Mansfield looking for a way to come back in. Telling the ref to watch that fist. I feel like you're being hit with a sack of doorknobs. Mansfield, a little apprehensive about crawling back in the ring with Putski. Mansfield has that thumb tape. First time I noticed that tonight. And he does walk into a circus saw. Manheimer down. Bam! Into the turnbuckle for Eddie Mansfield. The wrestling shoe. Manheimer calling for the bell. Well, it's over. Maybe over officially, but not so far as Ivan Putski is concerned. Got a little worried of that taped thumb to his Adam's apple. Well, you can see the decision for yourself. The winner, the Continental lover, Eddie Mansfield. The decision, not a popular one, but in wrestling, as in any sport, you don't touch the official.
Two former college football players at West Texas State University do battle in this match. We've got the son of the former world heavyweight champion Gene Kiniski, Kelly Kiniski, taking on Tito Santana.
But now Tito Santana was a quarterback at West Texas, right?
No, he was a tight end.
I think he was a quarterback because I loaned him $1 once and all he gave me was a quarterback. But here's the match, folks.
Tito Santana, Mission, Texas. Welcome home, Tito. Going against Kelly Kiniski from Vancouver, British Columbia. Oh, nice. Tito, Kiniski, I guarantee you, don't take Kelly Kiniski lightly, and I don't mean that just because he weighs 251 pounds. Kelly can take it, he can dish it out, but he's against a young man that is a wrestler par excellence. He just won a big Houston tournament. He defeated Nick Bockwinkel, not for the world title, but to win that tournament. And I'll tell you one thing, he comes to town with his act together. Tito Santana, another athlete with his act together, is Tom Pritchard. Tom, welcome once again. Nice to have you with me.
Well, thank you very much, Gene. You know, just like you were talking about, Tito Santana is coming off a big win over that Houston tournament. And like you said, he got a big decision over the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. And I think the fans here in Southwest Championship Wrestling are going to be very, very impressed with this man.
There's I guarantee you, I hope Kiniski's right-handed. If he's not, Tommy, he's going to be when he gets through with that hole. That has got to get your attention. Santana turns him loose as he goes to the rope. Third man in the ring, Eric Manheimer. Kiniski, Santana. Your first look at Santana on Southwest Championship Wrestling. And down goes Kelly Kiniski. Kelly's dad was a world champion. You saw him here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. He talked to us a couple of weeks ago. And he's very proud of his son. Kelly been known to bend the rules a little, Tommy. Oh, full tackle. Santana on Kiniski. He drags it.
Good arm drag on this Tito Santana. You know, Tito is also a former WWF tag team champion. He held the belts up in New York with Ivan Putski, and he's holding that armbar pretty good right now. He's got Kelly Kaninsky in a pretty bad way.
Yeah, Kelly's gritting his teeth and wondered should maybe have stayed on the bus till maybe the next match. Of course, Kelly's big. He'd been known to bounce back more times than one. The armbar. Kaninsky forced him in the ropes all the way across. Off. Kaninsky down. Big, full, flying drop kick. Like the looks of this young man already, Tom. Tito Santana. He drags him.
Most definitely. He comes up high on those drop kicks, and that arm drag was quicker than anything. He's got a lot of upper body strength, as you can tell. He works out hard in the gym. He's in the best shape. Like I said, he's in the best shape he's ever been in before.
Well, that seems to be good enough. Catches him. Tom, I missed it. Catch him with a knee coming off, right?
Caught him right in the knee. It might have been a little low. I couldn't see it from my side, but anytime you come rushing off those ropes and you have that momentum behind you, you get a knee in the gut like that, it's not going to do you any good.
Body slam, elbow drop. And Kaninsky goes for the kill. Santana bridges out. 2 count from Mannheimer. Santana, oh yeah. This young man does wrestle to win. Don't want to overdo it, but I do like the way he looks. Hello. What? Hello, what? Kaninsky going to have to answer the phone with his fingers because I guarantee you're not going to be out of either ear for a while. Santana looking good on 251-pound Vancouver, BC product, Kelly Kaninsky. Again, Scott Casey has signed a contract, Tom, to wrestle Dick Slater for that Southwest Heavyweight Championship on this show. Slater just won it in the past few days, as a matter of fact. He's putting it on the line against Casey.
Well, I tell you, Slater has always been tough, but he's also one of the most unpredictable wrestlers today. To sign a contract against anybody is what he usually does. And Scott Casey, of course, he's still hot about Tully Blanchard and Gino Hernandez and what they did to him, turn off his ear and things like this. But I look for Casey to be in pretty good shape, but Slater is in tremendous shape as usual.
Kaninsky acting like he's working on a blocking skid as he works on Santana. Got him on the buckle. Couple of forearm slams after the shoulder. Santana uses a wrestling boot. Bend the knee. Floors Kaninsky. Kaninsky dazed. Santana arm whips him into the ring. Then clotheslines him. Big double arm clothesline. 2. Kaninsky bridges out. Hey, close. I guarantee you that was close. Used the toe of the wrestling boot. And again, Kaninsky goes into the side head. Chops him with the thumb under the Adam's apple. No, it's not legal. But Kaninsky has been known more than once to resort when he's in trouble, and he was definitely in trouble. Arm sling, up and over the top. Goes Santana. Tries for a chop, misses. Big, full. 1, 2, 3. Body press. The body press got him. Tito Santana. Kelly Kaninsky never knew what hit him. Big, full body press. Tito looking good his first time out. Got to tell you. The Mission, Texas product, Tito Santana.
We go back to seeing the notorious Sheik in action, and his hapless victim in this match is Tom Jones.
Well, the Sheik, as we've said before, one of the most savage, one of the most inhumane, one of the most aggressive individuals in professional wrestling for a period of 30 years. Tom Jones, an excellent competitor in his own right, but unfortunately not capable of handling the wild man from Syria, the noble Sheik.
Well, Bedlam broke loose when the Sheik made his appearance. Very fine young man going in against the Sheik in this bout, Tom Jones, one of my favorites amongst the younger crop. Good boy, and I don't know what he has done to deserve an opponent like the Sheik. Nevertheless, he's most enthused over it. Have you ever witnessed anybody as obnoxious as this weasel? Clad today in mustard-colored trousers, green sports coat, red fez, that I object to. And both of them trying, I don't know what the complaint is, but there is an objection on the part of the Sheik and the Weasel. They are checking the boots are low, and the bell has not sounded as the Sheik went up his man, and now it is Jones. Jones jumping the gun, and the Sheik leaves the ring as Jones went on the warpath. Now the Weasel complains bitterly. Oh, I forgot to mention the Weasel is wearing green shoes. A real dapper Dan. I think we have in the Weasel and the Sheik a couple of characters who one would not want to take home as a house guest. The Weasel is so obnoxious that he's evidently spent a lifetime training at it. Both men forcing Tom Jones back. Now the Sheik is on that prayer rug to seek assistance. He eyes the fans, keeps an eye on the fans, and he is waiting until they give him what he considers his respect. A veteran of the ring, the Sheik, has wrestled around this world for many years, and it has been the same story wherever he goes. It's one reprimand after another with this fellow. Now we are waiting the bell, and finally we get the show on the road. And the Sheik goes into that Arabian twist of his as he moves around. And Tom Jones pummels away at him. And Jones, oh, he thrills the fans by attacking the Sheik in the corner. And the Sheik grabbed, and the cameraman give a tremendous study of this fellow as he is draped over that second rope. The Weasel is concerned on the outside. And now it is a Sheik jumping into the fray and applying, oh, a dangerous hold, this one. The hammerlock, and he is pulling back on it. This is a vicious hold. And I have not seen it for some time, but I don't like it. The hammerlock and all the weight thrown against the arm as the Sheik pulls against that arm of Tom Jones. The referee is over questioning Jones. There's not much Jones can do about it. And, oh, and another maneuver that sends the body weight, the full body weight, against the arm. Now, I don't like the hold. It is a bad one. The hammerlock itself is vicious enough, but to perform the maneuver that the Sheik has used, the bell sounds. The bell sounds. The Weasel is in there. The Sheik is still holding on to this hold. And we have an ugly situation now where the referee is finding it difficult, and there goes the Sheik again, applying the pressure to the hammerlock. As here now, Whipper-Billy Watson comes into the studio, and he is displaying the same concern as I am. And Watson, unfortunately, is not dressed for action, and the Sheik pounds him. Whipper-Billy Watson is now grabbed by the Sheik, and the Sheik pulls him out on the concrete. And Watson getting his head stumped. In front of me here as the fans pile around, menacing. And the Sheik grabbing Watson, kicking away with those pointed boots. Well, they've gone out into the dressing room, and there's a tremendous ding outside as many of the fans have followed, and the fight pursues. The fight continues outside, and we have a very Unfortunate situation here. The Weasel is standing up there defying everybody as this boy is hurt. The lad is definitely hurt.
This is a rare chance to see one of the real legends of the 50s, 60s, and 70s in action, Bobo Brazil from Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Well, Bobo Brazil, the Jackie Robinson of professional wrestling, this is the man that broke the color line. When Bobo Brazil was a main event star in the early 50s, ladies and gentlemen, he couldn't even stay in the hotel across the street from the arena in which he wrestled. The black folks that came to see him wrestle had to sit in the balcony. And he went from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s to become the first main event black athlete in professional wrestling to break the color barrier across the country. Bobo Brazil, and he will be missed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event will be a one-fall, 30-minute time limit. Introducing from Benton Harbor, Michigan, weighing 298 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, Bobo Brazil! His opponent from Abruzzi, Italy, weighing 237 pounds, Michelangelo.
This bout between the mighty Bobo Brazil and Michelangelo. Onto the ropes is Brazil. Angelo with a forearm smash. Side of the fist to the jaw that reels Brazil around. Now another one. Brazil almost off his feet, down on one knee, hanging onto the ropes. And Angelo is reminded not to use the knuckle portion of the fist. Chokehold by Angelo is called for the break. The referee Al Thomas. Brazil down on his knees, Angelo around behind. Again, the break is called for the chokehold. Side of the fist and sends Brazil, turns him around, sends him to the other corner. Now Angelo puts his head into the turnbuckle. He made a mistake there. Brazil is mad, and here comes Bobo Brazil. Brazil drives his head into that turnbuckle. Angelo just takes a little trip backwards. Angelo down on his knees now, trying to have a little parlay with Bobo Brazil about calling this whole thing off with few friends. No way, said Brazil. And Bobo Brazil is watching him very closely now. Bobo Brazil extends the hand, but not the hand of friendship. And he puts the clamp on the wrist of Michelangelo as he bends those fingers back the wrong way. It makes a man helpless real quick. Brazil are applying the pressure now. Angelo going for the eyes. Brazil got him closed in time. Chokehold by Michelangelo on the mighty Bobo Brazil. He wrestles around this world, this country, in more places, I think, than just about anybody. He's an international traveler, like the wild man from Syria, the Sheik. Of course, the Sheik, who has set more attendance records around the world than any wrestler alive. He and Bobo Brazil have crossed paths from time to time. Of course, they don't love one another, that is. There's no love between the Sheik and Bobo Brazil, that's for sure. They have been long-time enemies. Michelangelo is now putting it to Bobo Brazil. The fans calling for Bobo to come out fighting. Bobo Brazil has taken a couple of knuckle benders in there. And now a chokehold by Michelangelo as he's got Brazil in that corner. Referee calling for the break. And Brazil gets one hard. Brazil takes an elbow coming off the ropes. And Angelo, an elbow. Here comes Angelo and Brazil now. Coming out of that corner fighting. The fans said it, and here he's doing it. Coming out there fighting. Brazil dancing around like a time in the rock. The mighty Bobo Brazil has won his bout tonight over Michelangelo.
One of the most heated rivalries in San Antonio wrestling history was between Wahoo McDaniel, who was like a god in San Antonio, and Tully Blanchard that everyone in the town wanted to kill.
Well, I'll tell you this, they make things bigger in Texas, including rivalries. And you had Wahoo McDaniel, a Choctaw Chickasaw Indian from the Midland, Odessa area, and Tully Blanchard, born with the silver spoon in his mouth from San Antonio. It was only natural that sooner or later, Blanchard and McDaniel would collide.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell you something, I'm telling you right here.
Right here.
You see this belt? I'm putting it on the line because I don't believe you can beat me. And I just sued 2 million people see you as 200.
I tell you what, Mr. McDaniel, look right in that camera right there, because all these people are going to get to see the great, the almighty Chief Wahoo McDaniels get embarrassed right here in front of everybody.
There it is. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Look out. Tully's got him, but Wahoo really retaliates. Look out. He's really getting it on a part of Wahoo McDaniel's coming off. I'm going to stay right here. Down goes Blanchard. I'm going to stay right here and pick up all the action for you. Juan Reynosa holding off Wahoo McDaniel. And Tully Blanchard is against the ropes. Now Wahoo is fixing to get Juan. Look out. I've got the belt right here. Blanchard a little bit, looks a little bit groggy right now, but he's recovering pretty quick. They're going into the standard referee hold and a knee right into the midsection. And the Wahoo goes down. There is the elbow right across the bridge of the nose, the knee into the throat. But now Wahoo grabs him and slaps his knees together. But I tell you, Blanchard, a tough little rascal. Down he goes. And a hip block really popped him right across the bridge of the back. The Big Chief, look out. Blanchard tried a quick move to catch him in the midsection, but he missed. And here comes Wahoo, cornering him in the corner. Up against the turnbuckles, Juan Reynosa was slapped him right across there. Now the Tomahawk picks him up. Hip block. Down he goes. Reverse chin lock. Juan Reynosa taking a look at him. A lot of pressure put on by perhaps one of the world's finest wrestlers, if not the finest, Big Chief Wahoo McDaniel from Midland, Texas. There he goes. More pressure, more pressure. I am holding. I went up on the apron of the ring, and there he goes, slamming him into the side, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a blow right across the neck. Trying to keep track of the time, and there he goes. He's got him down. He turned around his small package, and there he goes. He's going to have to see. That's a submission hold. Let's see what happens. Wahoo has got him. He's extending him in a full leg and arm stretch. And let's see what happens. And with his last ounce of strength, you got to give it to him. Tully Blanchard pulled Wahoo McDaniels all the way over. Wants a suplex and slams him into the body. 1, 2, and right at the last minute. Now, getting out of the ring is Tully Blanchard. He's right at my feet, ladies and gentlemen. And the count being made by Juan Reynosa. You hear him counting. Here's Tully right now on the side of the ropes. Look at that. Tully grabbed the ropes and Wahoo McDaniel bringing him all the way back in. Just snapping the top ring of that rope. The knee right into the midsection. Look out, here he comes off the ropes, and in a move that surprised everybody. Tully Blanchard holding on. Gives the Big Chief, ooh, did you see that? Ramming his elbow right in the middle. Down under the full all the way elbow. 1, 2, and the foot is in the ropes. Wahoo gives him 1, 2 kicks right in the top of the head. The elbow into the midsection. Into the midsection. Finally off the apron of the ropes, which
is good to get away, let me tell you that right now. Wahoo McDaniel has put up his championship belt. And Tully Blanchard, the crowd is going wild. And right off the ropes comes Blanchard with that elbow, the fall-away elbow in the middle of the back. Now he turns him over. Ooh, man, that was close. Wow. Juan Reynosa coming down for the count of 3. When 2. Woo, that was close again. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about just tenths of seconds there. Now, there he goes. 1-2 shots, and down goes Blanchard. Chris Chapman kicks him. Both men are just exhausted, ladies and gentlemen. What a wrestling match. You'll never see it any better than this. I'll tell you what, I sort of hope he gives it to Tully, and he has. Tully. Totally stunned. As Tiger down, he falls. Wahoo picks him up. Look at that turnaround suplex. 1, 2, and at the last minute, Blanchard gets out. And Blanchard now out of the ring, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We're going to have to go. Our time is up. We have no more time for the television. Be tuned in next week. You talk about excitement. Gene Goodson saying goodbye, everybody. See you next week on Southwest Championship Wrestling.
Eddie Gilbert was a third-generation wrestler who, when he was growing up, I think there's probably nothing he ever wanted to do more than wrestle against his idol, Jerry Lawler, and it finally happened in the main event at the Mid-South Coliseum. This was like a dream come true for Eddie.
Well, when Eddie Gilbert was a kid, he used to come to the matches with his father, Tommy Gilbert, to the Mid-South Coliseum where Jerry Lawler would be in the main event, and young Eddie Gilbert one day hoped to be in that spot. To do that, to take that spot, he had to beat the current and the recognized king of wrestling in Memphis, Jerry Lawler. When Eddie Gilbert met Jerry Lawler, it wasn't about titles, it wasn't about pride, it wasn't about glory, it was about a childhood dream being realized.
This one is going to have on one side of the ring at 206 pounds from Lexington, Tennessee, Eddie Gilbert. And on the other side of the ring from Memphis, Tennessee at 234 pounds, the king, Jerry Lawler.
Dave, I think you incurred the wrath of Mr. Gilbert up there as you failed to say Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert.
Yeah. Eddie Hot Stuff
We got it,
Gilbert.
Eddie.
All right.
All right, referee Jerry Calhoun. The instructions have already been given. There's the bell, and we are, in fact, off and running. And they're off and running. The king with a weight advantage on Gilbert. Gilbert very quick. Moves with that rolling arm lock, takes him over and down with it. Nice. Yeah. Very satisfactory. You can better believe that. Lawler took note of it too. Once again, they tie it up. This time, Gilbert crotches him straight up in the air, slams him down, and Hot Stuff is hot tonight. Boy, I'll tell you. Jerry Lawler getting a little surprise. We've remarked so many times about what a slow starter Jerry is. He seems to have to get cranked up with one in the mouth before he really gets unwound. And Eddie Gilbert with a nice hip toss in there. 3 times he's been able to put Lawler down. Now that's not the same as keeping him down for a 3 count. Oh, look at here. Lawler gave him back to him in spades. Gilbert out of the ring on the floor. Jerry just lumped them all together and slammed him around 3 times. Now that doesn't look so hot. At least not for Gilbert. At the count of 7, Gilbert is back through the ropes. And the king moving straight in on him. Gilbert backing away. Lance Russell and Dave Brown along ringside with a commentary on Championship Wrestling. And a dandy of a single match as the crowd getting on, Eddie. Not so much that they're getting on Eddie as they're cheering for Jerry, which is, getting ragged and upset a little bit here. Everybody in Championship Wrestling studio here is cheering for the King. Nice fielding out of that corner. Gilbert came in, but with better thoughts. Eddie Gilbert, Jerry Lawler. Now they tie it up. On the break. Ooh. Gilbert. Taps Lawler with that right.
Well, that one could come back to haunt him, too.
Got that right. That's that right we were talking about that wakes Jerry up. Really gets him fired. Referee's telling you about it, Eddie. You better pay attention to him. Calhoun saying keep that fist open. Lawler saying, okay, let me show you how we can play that. Into the rope. Lawler was getting ready to crank on him, too. Whoa. Gilbert decides might be a good time just to hold up. Mark.
Tell you what, that did not look that athletic as he held onto the ropes and went tumbling out of the ring, but I think he came out better than he would have if Lawler had caught him with that right hand.
Lawler had put him out of the ring in another fashion. Because he had that right hand cocked and ready to fire. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert back in the ring, and the King stalking him, ready to tango.
A little over 4.5 minutes gone in this one.
Over the top. Underneath. Flipped him a good one.
He did. He waited for him, and timing was just right. And the King got him.
The referee talking to Lawler about using the fist. Eddie's trying to get a little time from the referee, and the referee says, come on, let's go.
Eddie is telling the referee that he was hit.
Yes, he was.
As everyone knows, he is telling the truth, too. They're trying to declare a truce, but it's too late for that, I'll tell you.
Lawler starting in with a fist ready to go, and the referee intercepts him. Gilbert with the hair. Oh, look at him go. Eddie Gilbert ripping away on Lawler. Puts him down.
Eddie Gilbert continuing to have the upper hand here against the King. What can you imagine? What a victory against the King here would do if Eddie could add that to what is already a rather impressive string of victories in recent weeks.
Yes, sir. Eddie holding the international heavyweight title bout as the King pops that strap down. And he goes after Gilbert with some of the things that Gilbert dished out to him. Our time edging down here on our comes Rick Rude. Jimmy Hart, that'll be it. Gilbert holding Lawler while Rude slashing away at him. Hart dancing around, saying, hit him, hit him, hit him. Jerry down off on the floor is Rude and Gilbert. Oh, look out. Lawler spies that chair. Whoa, that'll clear the ring out. Look out. Lawler fired that chair and almost got Rude right in the back of the head, but Rude got away. Lawler's going to end up winning it on a disqualification with Rude and Hart jumping in there.
They were always looking for new ways to corner the Sheik in the Detroit and Toronto area, and Tiger Jeet Singh was one of his fiercest rivals, and this time the two met in a mud match.
Well, that's right, because so many people had tried and failed to battle the Sheik and beat him on his own ground. So Tiger Jeet Singh tried to decide to take another tack. Hindus often wrestled in the mud in their native country, so Tiger Jeet Singh challenged the Sheik to a Hindu mud match, and this was the result.
Now, this is a match. Is this in Toronto, Ontario? I'm not even sure what city this is in.
I believe it would have had to have been Toronto, because the Sheik and Tiger Jeet Singh in a mud match, and of course an old Hindu tradition was that they would not wrestle in a ring, they would wrestle in the mud in a field, and the legend has it that the famous Indian wrestlers of the turn of the century and the first part of the 20th century, the great Gama and Dara Singh would wrestle in front of 150,000 people in mud pits out in fields. Legend has that.
Nobody knows.
But truthfully, I've heard that in some cases, I don't know about the crowd estimates, but in some cases it was true. But
the matches definitely happened.
The matches definitely happened, but this match was instigated because Tiger Jeet Singh, the huge Hindu population in the Toronto, Canada area, Tiger Jeet Singh, for one of the only places in his life, in his career, was a tremendous fan favorite, and got the Sheik in what was basically a match on his own home turf.
Well, the Sheik and Tiger Jeet Singh had many, many matches at Maple Leaf Gardens. It was one of his most popular opponents for that very reason, for the ethnic reason. And we got referees that are in the mud. We got everyone in the mud. It's dirty business here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like a presidential election. There's so much mudslinging going on, and Tiger Jeet Singh, he takes exception to the referee as well, or could that be? I believe
that's Eddie Creechman.
That's Eddie Creechman, I believe.
Okay, so that's Eddie Creechman.
Eddie the Brain Creechman, the manager of the Sheik. So they're covered with so much mud, it's hard to tell. I haven't seen anything like this since the last time I went to Hooters, but still, the point being that this was something that was for.
And there's the Cobra Claw.
Yeah, the Cobra Claw. For Tiger Jeet Singh and for his people and for people of his heritage, this was a very meaningful and a very important thing, and it may seem ludicrous on the surface.
Well, they needed a way to beat the Sheik, and the idea was he was going to beat him in his own match this time.
Exactly. So for a lot of people to see two guys wrestling in mud, it may seem a little on the bizarre side, but this is a cultural situation, just like Lucha Libre in Mexico or any of the other styles of wrestling in different various countries. And the Sheik, this has got to be a match that would have had to have been
no disqualification.
No disqualification, no rules, basically anything goes, and also very easy to be injured in because that mud is slippery and dangerous at best. And you got to think also, did they strain it? Did they sift it?
Oh, that
did they take the gravel or the glass bits out? Because that when mud matches were big in the 30s and 40s, a lot of times the guys that would have them would be ripped to shreds because they would just throw dirt in there, pour water on it, and there'd be gravel or bits of broken glass in the dirt, and guys would be ripped to shreds before they ever knew it.
Wow. So the mud wrestling matches, as far as that aspect of it, that they date back to the 30s.
Over the Depression era and during the 40s, there were a lot of different types of matches as the promoters tried to find different things that would appeal to
attractions, because it was so tough.
Different attractions. They had ice cream matches. They had mud matches. Fish matches.
I remember that.
In Galveston and the fishing centers.
Right. The loser rides a donkey. Paul Bosch came up with a lot of those
matches. Bosch did a lot of that stuff down in Houston. Loser not only rides a donkey, but there was loser wash a donkey. Loser gets painted white. Loser gets painted yellow.
I remember loser washes a dog.
Exactly. And there was Jello wrestling, mud wrestling, ice cream. fruits of different kinds, all kinds of things where people would wrestle in various substances, and it was all to try to be something different to draw a crowd during the Depression. This, of course,
Russo was booking during the Depression.
Yes. Russo was. I think Russo is somewhat like Satan. He reincarnates himself at various points in history and instigates world wars and horrible periods of wrestling.
I don't know about that, but he certainly did usher in a bad year in wrestling. But I think the idea of coming up with a new gimmick with no idea of what it is every week does go back to the 30s, because some of those ideas sound absolutely ridiculous. And this match, if it wasn't for the fact that there was actually a story behind this, because the people just want to see the Sheik get beat under any circumstances. And if it was going to take a ring full of mud and Tiger Jeet Singh under his own rules to do it, then that's great, even though it's impossible to do a good wrestling match in this mud.
Now you got to wonder if the people that bought ringside tickets were like folks that came to see Gallagher concerts and they got their own ponchos as well.
That I don't know. Tiger just knocked the Sheik out of the ring.
And Sheik has just found somebody in the front row that he'd like to get mud all over. This is also a great way to get revenge on your regular ringsiders that harass you every week, because you can basically bail out of the ring and fling mud all over anybody that you want to without fear of being arrested for it.
Here, the Tiger just nailed the Sheik with a chair.
And I'm not sure that in his native country that Tiger Jeet Singh that the mud matches were allowed the use of chairs. I'm not sure that's part of the cultural phenomenon.
I don't think they were. Now, didn't they have a different kind of thing, like, well, I guess probably the turn of the century, they had different kind of rules, because the idea was under his rules, historically, the Great Gama was supposed to, have been considered unbeatable.
Well, that's right, and I think the legend is. Now, wait a minute, there was a count, just a count.
Count of two.
Not a pinfall yet. And
I think something really fishy going on right over there, though.
Well, now wait a minute. Say goes after Creechman with that chair, and Creechman didn't know whether to wind his butt or scratch his watch on that one.
Creechman was waiting for about a week for that one.
But I think the legend has it that the Great Gama was never defeated, and once again, how could you be defeated if
it's your game?
If I'm wrestling a national hero in front of 100,000 of his fans, I'm not going to win the match whether I can whip the guy or not. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
I'm putting him over big time and getting the heck out of Dodge with my life.
Did you ever hear the story about when Antonio Inoki wrestled against one of those Palawans in Pakistan?
Yes.
And he beat him. And he beat him with an armbar, and it was a shoot too, because I saw it. It was just this weird match that turned into it, and Inoki got him in an armbar, and then they were about to kill Inoki, and he didn't know it, and he raised his arms. And they thought that he was praying to Allah, so he was okay, even though he was Japanese and not Pakistani. It's like, he's cool, and he didn't even know he saved his own life. Those people were
praying to Allah.
Yeah.
Was Jack Veneno the champion for a long time in Trinidad and Tobago?
I think Jack Veneno might have been Venezuela. It might have been Trinidad and Tobago, but it was in that part of the world.
I remember Ric Flair telling me a story about he got an opportunity to go there and defend the NWA World Championship against the champion, who I believe was Jack Veneno.
In Trinidad and Tobago. That's right.
And the only person that he trusted to go along with him was his good friend Roddy Piper. So he said, well, Piper can go with me. Make a long story short, the first offense that Flair got in the match was due to Piper interfering, and the militia, who was providing security for the 30,000 people in the baseball stadium, the militia leveled their rifles at Piper and were ready to shoot him for interfering. So basically, Flair grabbed Veneno, pulled him down on top of him, and did just what anybody else would do that was sane and rational, lost the match on purpose and got out of there with his sanity.
Who's in there now?
That's Hank James.
Okay.
That's Hank James, the half-brother of Bobo Brazil, as the match was over there. So that's an NWA World Title change that nobody knew about until this very moment.
No, I knew about that one. He kind of mentioned that one.
Well, there you go. It wasn't in the record books, folks, and this mud match evidently wasn't either. But
no, it was one of those rumored matches that nobody knew about, but kind of like rumor had gotten out. But that I never knew the story behind why. I just figured that it was just a local thing.
It was lose or be shot.
Well, here we go. We got.
Creechman is just covered in mud, and
there's Hank James, and
there comes the Sheik, and Hank James is all over him. Hank James was a big name in the Detroit area and very few other places.
No other place
that I can recall.
Well, he did wrestle Amarillo for a little while, but very little while.
And those tights may have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
But the Sheik obviously was abusing Tiger Jeet Singh and everyone else involved in that mud match, and Hank James is apparently trying to pry the Sheik's head off of his neck at this point.
The Sheik, look at those eyes. He's ready to go to sleep.
Sheik, one of the more deranged individuals that you would ever find, and Creechman, one of the most ineffectual managers, but now that looks like the police trying to get Hank James off of the Sheik. And those Detroit police, boy, they know their job. And you can see that they're on an excellent fitness program as well there in the Motor City. You can't get on the police department unless you can run that obstacle course in record time, folks.
This might be Toronto.
Toronto, I'm sorry.
This next match features Austin Idol, the Universal Heartthrob, going against another wrestler Jim Cornette knows very well, Masao Ito.
Well, that's right, and in this case, the Universal Heartthrob, for all his big arms and all his good looks and all his long blonde hair, had to watch out because heart was at stake here, because Masao Ito, the master of hand-to-hand combat, the master of martial arts, had promised, had sworn, had vowed that he would reach into Austin Idol's chest and pull out his heart. In this match, Austin Idol had to overcome the odds against the Japanese master assassin.
This is an international heavyweight title match. Introducing the challenger, at 253 pounds from Osaka, Japan, Masa Ito, the Oriental Connection. And the champion from Las Vegas, Nevada, 242 pounds, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. A match for the international heavyweight title. One fall, 60 minutes will be the time limit.
Well, they don't rush into it because we have the ceremony that the Oriental Connection performs. I think it's to ward off the evil spirits or whatever like that. The referee says go ahead and ring it, and now Ito is going through the sound. I'm not really sure exactly what's happening. I think it's pretty obvious so far on today's program. Well, we've gotten off to a staggered start, but I'll tell you, we've got good action, and we got even better coming up right now. The bell has already sounded. Here we are, the Oriental Connection, the Universal Heartthrob. At stake, woo, will be the international heavyweight belt, and there it is, now around Dave Brown's weight. Now, Davey's got it over here at the desk. And Austin Idol putting it on the line against, I think maybe to our championship wrestling fans, maybe an unknown, but certainly not internationally. This guy has got all kind of credentials. Hart was talking about credentials earlier. I can tell you he's got them. And look at, he's showing Austin some of those credentials right now as he hammers away on him.
There's a jab. Looked like he caught Austin in the throat with the point of the fingers. Follows with a chop. Using the Oriental style. Lots of chops, lots of motion with the feet.
He's got Idol down and in problems already. Watched him and body slammed him. Oh, he missed. All right. Idol needs to get a little something going right here. Here he comes.
Austin Idol with the body slam on that 253-pound challenger. For good measure, he does it again. Austin did not miss as he dropped with the upper arm.
You got that right. Now, there he goes for the Las Vegas leg lock. Here comes the corner man as Idol reaching for him, who he jumped up on the ring apron. And look at, oh, good night. Austin Idol flattened down on the side of the ring as the attendant slammed him with a nunchucks that he had in his belt. The referee now in count. He was over there with the connection and saw none of it. Oh, don't tell me. Austin.
A count out.
Boy, I'll tell you the count out in there. Referee Jerry Calhoun confirms it, a 10 count on Austin Idol. He was slammed with those nunchucks, Dave.
He was blasted. Boy, the corner assistant sitting in the chair there, and Austin was over on the ropes. That corner assistant jumped up. Austin went after him. Boy, you know, connection flipped him out of the ring, and when he hit him with those nunchucks, sticks, I think maybe you saw what they were. He really smacked him with them. And Austin has been on the floor ever since. The referee had no choice. He had to count him out. Count of 10. The belt has just changed hands. The Oriental Connection from Osaka, Japan is the new international heavyweight champion.
Gino Hernandez and Tully Blanchard were one of the hottest tag teams in Texas as the dynamic duo, and in this match from San Antonio they faced Scott Casey and the young Terry Allen.
Well, several tragedies would befall members of this match. Of course, Terry Allen, the car wreck in October of 1986 that ended his active career as Magnum TA, and Gino Hernandez's untimely death due to an overdose in 1986. Folks, stay tuned for a little piece of history with some gentlemen that are no longer with us.
Big tag team match with Terry Allen and Scott Casey against the world's tag team champions, Lou, Tully Blanchard and Gino Hernandez. And this should be a stem winder. Blanchard and Hernandez already upset. They're whining, crying, and I've seen them do that before.
Well, these two young boys in our corner here, Allen and Casey, are two fine young athletes. This young boy, Allen, has a fantastic amateur record. And, of course, Casey speaks for himself. He's been here for a while. And he's really taken Hernandez down with an arm drag.
Big arm drag from Cowboy Scott Casey. And, of course, the young man is built on a reasonable frame. I think you'd have to agree. The ladies love it. Okay, how about a hip toss? Gino tries for a leg scissor. Scotty's scrambling, and Hernandez backs into the turnbuckle. Casey came out to work. The man wants to wrestle. He wants some action. Let me tell you something about Hernandez and Blanchard. These men work, as I know you know, Lou, so beautifully together as a team. That's why they're the world's tag team champion.
Well, I do not agree with many of their tactics, but they are the finest, probably the finest tuned set of tag team wrestlers in the world. They really have their timing down pat.
I'll tell you what, that's a pretty piece of action right there itself. Got to tell you, Brother Casey just tagged in Terry Allen. Beautiful, beautiful teamwork. Big knee drop from above the second rope. Terry Allen on Tully the Kid Blanchard. Big body slam. Normally that takes the winds out of a man's sails. Arm bar is what Terry went into. Tully tagged in Gino. Arm drag. Terry Allen came to work. The man, he wanted some action, Lou.
He certainly did. He came here to work, and he's doing it.
Gino Hernandez over the top rope said, wait a minute. Let's regroup. Let's stop. Nobody's explained it to me like this before. These boys, we're the world champs, and they don't seem to have the proper respect for us. Terry Allen, welcome to Southwest Championship Wrestling, young man. You looking good.
Yes, he does. You know, the thing that disturbs me, Gene, is the fellas like Tully and also Hernandez, Tully Blanchard, they can wrestle, but they've got to resort to the unfair tactics and take unfair advantage. If they would only do just a little more wrestling, they would do very well.
I've got to agree with Blue Fez, but then who wouldn't about the wrestling game? Blanchard and Hernandez, of course, are excellent wrestlers. That may not make you happy for your announcer to say, but I'm telling you, it's the truth. How about a fiver to the pit of the stomach, Blanchard? Big elbow drop. Tully Blanchard working on Terry Allen. Terry, my friend, at the moment, I suppose we don't need to tell you in trouble. He tags it, gets to friendly territory, tags in Scott Casey, hammer and tone. Casey and Blanchard, two well-conditioned fine athletes. Big arm swing all the way to the turnbuckle, and yes, knocks him out of his shoes. Gino Hernandez crawls in the ring illegally. The crowd's going crazy. Scott Casey, big body slam on Blanchard. Blanchard calls over, tags in Terry Allen. Forearm smash. Forearm smash.
That Casey has arms like two blacksmiths, and man, he really carries a ticket with him.
Knocks Hernandez silly. Scotty does. Cole Terry Allen into the ring. You bet. Forearm smash. Another is going to knock him silly, and we're going to see a total collision. You insurance men, hide your face. I'm talking knocking you out of your wits. Blanchard and Hernandez. Whoa, there's a leg over the bottom rope. Blanchard fell in the right place. That has got to just take your senses away from you for a while. Blanchard fights back. Or big cowboy Scott Casey. Lou, ton of action, as I suspected in this match.
That Tully Blanchard is going to be a real street crawler. You know, that Casey was doing very well, and he's chopping this fellow Casey up very well. Now Hernandez is in there doing the same thing. As I said earlier, if he would only wrestle, he's just doing nothing but brawling.
Arm sling, meets him coming off the ropes. Meets him with a rebound with his big wrestling shoe, elbow drop. Oh! Elbow with a forearm smash. Blanchard grabs him by the back of the trunks. These men work well together, but always not within the realm of the rules. Oh, right.
Sunset flip. I thought he had him.
Thought he had him for sure. In comes Blanchard. In comes Terry Allen. Terry Allen grinning and said, "You belong to me. You're mine." Big knee lift. Arm sling all the way across him and slams him. Face first. Headlights first. Into the turnbuckle. Blanchard said, "No, let's talk it over. Let's talk it over." Big bear hug. Terry Allen shows his strength. Tully Blanchard resists. Hernandez tries to get in. Allen comes over, tags in. His partner, Scott Casey.
Tremendous power. This young man, Allen, has tremendous power in that bear hug. And perhaps Casey will do the same thing. Sleeper.
Scott Casey's famous sleeper hold. I've not seen Scotty use this over half a dozen times. Hernandez gets in. Hits Casey from behind and breaks the hold. Casey rolls over. Gets Allen in. Allen with a big forearm lift. Slings Casey across. Bear hug. Hernandez tries to get in and do the same thing again. Terry Allen trying to squeeze Blanchard into submission. Hernandez flies in from the side. The referee missed it. Some more skullduggery, some more nefarious tactics. Off the top rope, elbow drop to the midsection of Terry Allen. 2, 3. The winners officially, the referee didn't see it, are Tully Blanchard and Gino Hernandez, the world's heavyweight tag team champions. It wasn't fair, but the referee didn't see, Lou.
We go to Memphis, Tennessee for a match early in the career of Terry Taylor. In this match, Terry Taylor faces Sabu. Now, this is not the same Sabu who's well known today in the United States.
Well, of course, Terry Taylor now is an behind-the-scenes executive with World Championship Wrestling, but in his day, one of the finest competitors in professional wrestling, and he takes on Sabu, the Wild Man from Borneo, known in different places as Coco Samoa, but definitely a most dangerous martial arts expert and a savage competitor.
Ready to go with the AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship match. And in this one, it is a champion, formerly Sabu, the Wild Man, going against a really fine young athlete out of Vero Beach, Florida, the current heavyweight champion, Terry Taylor. Here with the commentary, Randy Hale. Randy.
Thank you, Lance. Sabu starting out quick. He lost the title last week, and he sends Taylor into the turnbuckles. And I'm telling you, he's primed up and ready to go in this challenge for the Southern Heavyweight Championship title. Sabu came in last week the favorite. He lost the title to Terry Taylor. Terry with the armbar puts Sabu down to the canvas. Terry, super wrestler, no doubt about it, out of Vero Beach, Florida. The Southern Heavyweight Championship, the most prestigious wrestling title Terry Taylor has ever held. Sabu caught him with a couple of flurries with the chops. Sabu, one of the most dangerous wrestlers I've ever had the opportunity to see, because he'll come up and surprise you. He might be in trouble for 1 second. He'll come up with a counter and catch you. Just exactly that. That's what I was talking about. He came up, reversed it into a hammerlock, and Terry's in trouble. Now Sabu, with the handful of hair, takes Taylor down to the canvas. Sabu, somebody that Jimmy Hart brought in to win the Southern title from Jerry Lawler. Taylor. Caught by Sabu. Sabu is so very quick. One of the quickest I've seen. Sends him into the turnbuckle hard. Taylor started out slow in his first match against Sabu, but Sabu even stronger coming into this match.
Randy, I thought it was really interesting in an interview that I had with Terry after the match. Taylor said he just, at times, he was down there. This guy is so quick, as you pointed out, that he just laid there underneath a pressure and saying, man, I don't know whether I want to kick out one more time or not. And then he realized where he was going for a championship, and it was just that inner heart and desire that kept him kicking out till he finally got what has got to be termed a surprising win over Sabu and became champion.
Terry comes back with the right hand and puts Sabu down. He's not going to give up the Southern Heavyweight Championship easy, I'm telling you. Terry's coming in, he goes down on him, and Taylor caught him, and now with the elbow, and Sabu comes back with that vicious punch, and he puts Terry down to the canvas. Taylor once again caught by the wild man, Sabu. Oh, I'm telling you, with those feet, he's devastating. Catches him again to the top of the head. Terry with the right hand, and Sabu sends him. Oh, my goodness, he really put him down to the canvas. Taylor is caught once again by Sabu. Terry. Put down again. This Sabu really going after him. Jimmy Hart has him all wired up and ready to go in this challenge. Sabu in the side lock, and I hear some members of the audience here saying that Sabu is choking Terry Taylor. Taylor drives a shoulder, and another one in the corner, and a third one by Terry Taylor, and a big right hand, and another one, and look at Terry Taylor fire. I'm telling you. But once again, Sabu, fast as he is, caught Taylor and put him down to the canvas. Now he's choking Taylor, the referee warning him up about it now. Hart is distracting him as Sabu is really working on him at the 5-minute mark in this 60-minute time limit Southern Heavyweight Championship match. Sabu with the rear face lock on Taylor. Made the comment in another match that we saw Sabu in that one of the reasons he's so dangerous is that he'll wrestle you and he'll put on some fantastic moves, some great counter moves and some lightning fast moves, but he'll also go back to the first family tactics that you know so well, the hair pulling, the using of the chains, the choking, anything he can do to win a match. And he's really resorting to the first family now, and he choking Taylor. The referee counting him. Sabu, if he's not careful, will be disqualified, and there will go his chance for the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Sabu now couldn't tell what he was doing. Might have been biting Taylor, and he drops the leg. Taylor's down. Sabu drops, but Terry Taylor moves out of the way. Terry was caught once, but not another time as Sabu misses and Terry catches him with the foot to the midsection. He has him up and holds him there in the air, slams him down in the body slam. One? No, sir. Terry got a one. That's all he could get. He's ran behind him, picks him up, and drops him down. Oh, he puts him down to the canvas that time, and he's on top. 1, 2, but Sabu kicks out of it. Taylor almost had him. He's ran behind him again and scoots him up, drops him down to the canvas. Count of 1, count of 2, but Sabu with his foot on the ropes. The referee has to call for a break. Terry, big right hand and another one. But Sabu comes back. He puts Taylor down to the canvas. Sabu picks Taylor up, signs him down, but Taylor comes out. 1, 2. Oh, he came so very close. Rode him down in a pinning predicament. Almost had him. Terry, a super fine move. Sabu comes back again, catches him, sends him into the ropes. Taylor caught. Now Sabu choking, using his foot to choke Taylor. Now hurls him out of the ring, right on the floor, here right by us at the table, here at the ring. Referee beginning the count at the count of 5, 6, 7, and Terry Taylor now back on the apron, and Sabu catches him and kicks him back out of the ring. Once again, the referee will have to start the count as Sabu knocks Terry Taylor out. At the count of 5, Taylor still has some life in him, and he's tried to get back, but for the second time, Sabu knocks Terry Taylor down to the floor. Terry has to be in a lot of trouble because he has been knocked around, knocked out on the floor twice by the wild man Sabu. But Taylor drives a shoulder, and he's over the top. He's down 1, 2, and Sabu gets out of it as Terry Taylor came so very, very close to getting it with that sunset flip over the top rope. Taylor with the right, and another one, and he puts Sabu down. And Taylor going to work into the ropes. And Taylor catches him with the right hand. In again, catches him. And Taylor to the ropes again. But over the top rope. And
We go next to San Antonio, Texas, and we get a match early in the career of Marty Jannetty. One of the opponents for Marty Jannetty is the man who trained him, Ted Oates. The match also features Wahoo McDaniel, Tommy Rogers, and the Grapplers.
That's right, it'll be the Grapplers and Ted Oates against Wahoo McDaniel, a great Indian competitor, Marty Jannetty, before he became famous as a member of the Rockers, and their partner Tommy Rogers, who would soon become famous with Bobby Fulton as the Fantastics.
Well, you almost had to expect it would come down to this. The Grapplers, who have gone round and round with Ted Oates, in fact, even put his brother temporarily out of wrestling. We're talking about Jerry Oates. Well, Ted Oates and the Grapplers together. And I got to tell you, the Uptown boys have one heck of a partner in the new United States Heavyweight Champion, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Well, it all comes down to this. Ted Oates trained the Uptown boys. as Ted Oates has taught them everything he knows, or everything they know, but not everything he knows. And in case you saw it a couple of weeks ago, here on All-Star Wrestling, what a move! What a move by Marty Jannetty. Flying drop kick, down goes Ted Oates. This is six-man tag team action. You saw what happened, though, a couple of weeks ago during an interview that we were conducting with the Uptown Boys. Ted Oates bolts into the ring and says, hey, it should be my interview. I am the Central States champion. Well, a fight ensued. The grapplers came into the ring and held Marty Jannetty while Ted Oates slapped him repeatedly. Just a humiliating experience. What a move by Jannetty again. We have talked about the improvement. Here comes Wahoo McDaniels into the action. Working on grappler number one. Look at him just ringing that left arm of grappler number one. Here comes Tommy Rogers. And he goes after the left arm as well. Oh, down across that left arm again. Well, this is the sort of match we want to bring you on All-Star Wrestling. The top people in the country. Last week, a world title match involving Ric Flair and Harley Race. This week, the U.S. heavyweight champion, Crusher Blackwell, all 420 pounds of him. Here comes Tommy Rogers, and down goes grappler number one. Whoops, and time a knee to the midsection. And grappler number one with that fist to the chops. Up goes Tommy Rogers, down he comes. Well, grappler number one trying to end it early, but he missed. Here comes number two. What an arm drag. Tag is made. Here comes Wahoo McDaniels. And Wahoo goes right after grappler number two. And twisting that left arm of grappler number two. Tearing at the eyes with that ring boot. There's the tag. Here comes Marty Jannetty. Wow!
5 minutes expired.
Those were the words of Terry Garvin, who earlier in the program more or less said, hey, I've had enough of G.G. Stone. And he has agreed. Whoa! Marty Jannetty coming off those ring ropes with that flying drop kick took grappler number two totally by surprise. They're talking about Terry Garvin. He has agreed to bring the tights out of mouthballs. And see, he says that he will agree to meet G.G. Stone in a match. Boy, grappler number two. Tremendous move. All six of these wrestlers can fly. Going for the pin on Tommy Rogers. Count is two. Rogers powers out. Now these are just fists. Nothing fancy there on the part of grappler number one. There he comes off the ropes. Oh! Oh my goodness. Tommy Rogers a double team. He is down. Give Ted Oates credit. You may not like his attitude, but he is one tremendous athlete. And you really hate to see a guy turn on his friends turn on the fans, turn on his fellow wrestlers, people like Tommy Rogers, people like Marty Jannetty. Look at him just holding Tommy Rogers as grappler number 2 kicked him. And clothesline, and down goes Tommy Rogers. Being warned by referee Dave Nevins. Meanwhile, Ted Oates and grappler number 1 going after Tommy Rogers. Tommy now just trying to find his corner. Going for the pin. Whoops. Wahoo McDaniels helping out his tag team partner, Tommy Rogers. Whoa! There was a fist to the midsection and another. But here comes Ted Oates with a fist of his own. Being warned about that by Dave Nevins. Ooh! Wicked elbow drop going for the pin. No, they cannot get it. And Oates up immediately. Shows you the kind of agility Ted Oates has. Whoa! Tommy Rogers coming from out of nowhere trying to get the tag and cannot do it. Cannot do it. He was held by Ted Oates. Now Wahoo McDaniels. Now 4 men in the ring. And now Marty Jannetty back to his corner. Meanwhile, grappler number 1 and Tommy Rogers go at it. Count is 2. There you see Marty Jannetty urging his tag team partner on. Tommy Rogers looking for the escape. He gets it. Down goes grappler number 1. He missed though. He missed with a flying drop kick, and so does Tommy Rogers. Two mistakes, one by each wrestler. Oh, look at that. Tommy Rogers, I don't think he knows where he is right now. Count is 2. Somehow he powers out. Dave Nevins checking for a choke.
10 minutes expired.
Don't forget next week on All-Star Wrestling, the return of Gypsy Joe. He has been just devastating opponents around the Central States area. He says now he's setting his sights a bit higher. Also, we'll try and find out more about this thing between Terry Garvin and T.G. Stone. Garvin says, and to be honest, I would have to recommend against it, but Terry Garvin says he is going to put the tights back on one more time in an effort to rid professional wrestling of the likes of T.G. Stone. Whoa! Tommy Rogers. Come on, Tommy. Tommy trying to get back to his corner. There is the tag. Here comes Marty Jannetty. And Jannetty leading up on the grapplers. Now Ted Oates. And now all 6 men in the ring. Grappler number 1 being worked on by Wahoo McDaniels. Out tumbles Tommy Rogers. Ted Oates goes out after him. You look at Marty Jannetty and grappler number 2. Up and over goes Jannetty. Action continues outside the ring. Up off that second ring rope. But he missed.
Going after the flying body press. He missed. Jannetty goes after it himself. The count is 2. The count is 3. Oh, and Ted Oates off that top ring rope. The match is over, but Ted Oates came off those top ring ropes. Going after Marty Jannetty. And now Oates, what's he doing? He's got a chair. Ted Oates with a chair. And now going to work on Marty Jannetty. Oh no, he's gonna pile drive him onto that chair. Oh my goodness. Well, the match is over. Dave Nevins has got to stop this. He has got to stop this. Somebody is going to get seriously hurt. Meanwhile, the action continuing. Wahoo McDaniels and grappler number 1. Tommy Rogers was working on grappler number 2. Now here comes Rogers. And Ted Oates.